Oh yes, welcome back to African Colonization TV. Here we'll give you the latest, what is going on in Africa and around the world. In today's topic, we dive into historical moments. Northern leaders reject one Nigeria, demand separation of Nigeria. It is so shocking and it is so pathetic. Very, very shocking. The giant of Africa, the only one that whenever you call the name Nigeria, every other country will start asking or will start terrifying. It is gradually crumbling and coming down little by little, starting from the terrorist organization Boko Haram, ISWAP, and other group within the country. Now there are so many group division of different group in the country, in Nigeria. This time around, the northern leaders, they have now woken up and they have now stand on their feet to demand for the final division of Nigeria, because this is an historical moment. Nobody think of it and nobody believe that this will happen. So I would like you to watch this video to the end, because this video really explain and review a lot of northern leaders, politicians, and people that have come out to declare and to say that the time have come for them to divide the country and no more staying together. There is no need of still being one Nigeria. So don't skip any part. Try to watch it to the end for you to understand everything happening in this video. As you're about to watch, like, subscribe, and make sure you share the video to go around. Let everyone see things happening in Nigeria.
Back again to share with you now latest update, my people, the one where they trend now. No be small thing, my people. Some reasonable amount of northern leaders, they have actually come out to declare that this country need to break up. That breakup, they have agreed with Biafra that breakup remains the only solution to Nigeria. You are going to be hearing from them inside this video, my people. But as they talk that one, now so Gumi and the Shetima, they day one side, they sabotage the movement. They are still telling the North to hold on, to hold Nigeria very, very tight. They should not allow Nigeria to break. So without wasting much of your time, let's start with the write-up, then I will allow una, make una watch the video. So my people, let's start with wetin Shegumi they talk. Shegumi said, Biafra, nobody can displace the Fulanis. Instead of breakup, let's sit down and discuss how to share power by size, not by resources and capability. Now hear him. He said, Biafra, make we no break up. Say instead of break up, let all of us sit down and discuss how to share power by size, not by resources and capability. Una hear him. Note those sentences. Note this particular sentence. By size, we should discuss how to share power by size, not by resources and not by capability. Imagine that. So whether one tribe is capable or not, it shouldn't enter why sharing power. We shouldn't discuss it. They shouldn't even fought it. It shouldn't be considered why they were sharing the power of Nigeria. That instead of break up, we should sit down, discuss how to share power, not by capability, whether they are capable or not. We shouldn't consider that why sharing the power, not by resources, because they know say many resources now from Biafra land they come from. When I don't see them, na sense. May we see where Shetima they talk before we go hear from northern elders. Why Shegumi they one side they talking on, now so Shetima they another side they talking on. According to Shetima, he said resist moves to divide Nigeria. Now who they talk am? Now Shetima they tell Arewa leaders, he say any urge where they get, any desire where they get to divide Nigeria, they should stop it. They should stop it. They should hold Nigeria very well, make it remain one. So my people, I'll be playing the videos right now of the northern elders. Make una listen to everything where they talk concerning the breakup of Nigeria. Whether they like it or not, one thing I know is say Nigeria will definitely, not will, must definitely break up.
And that was why when you are talking about these people agitating for separation, I said the North is ready for separation. We are ready to go. What do we really need? In fact, if you ask me, I will tell you, looking at the arrangement, the structural arrangement of northern Nigeria today, if the North is not part of the other countries, if today we separated, the North will be far better than it is today. Because why? What are we talking about? The other regions are talking about power control or control of resources. The major resources we are talking about today is oil. It has been discovered in the Lake Chad Basin. That is first greater in quality than the one we have in the other part of Nigeria. Two, it is greater in quantity. The one we have in the other part of Nigeria will be finishing in 15 years. The one that has just been discovered, if harnessed, will last 75 years. So what do we really need? We have a deposit of gold in Birnongwali that is more than the one we are having in South Africa and in Ghana. We have another deposit of gold in Zamfara. That is why you have the bandit in Zamfara. That is why you have those bandits in Birnongwali. Why are we having the Boko Haram, so much Boko Haram problem? It's because of the oil has been discovered. It is in the Lake Chad Basin, and that was why you see they will never want to have peace in that area, because once you have, the North is going to develop more than you think. And don't forget, the economic power of Nigeria was northern Nigeria. We were the economic power, we were the economic heart. That was why every time, even the education that the southerners and the easterners had, it was from the resources of the North that they were sponsored to go to school and get the education they are having today. So if today, it is not debatable. It is there. If you don't know, I'm telling you, maybe you don't have knowledge of it. I am just telling you.
Now is no, Dr. Let me just let
me conclude on this, because I don't want you to interfere with this until I am done with it. So this is that is why we said the North today is ready for separation. If you call for separation, because if we are separated today, I am telling you, we'll grow bigger, we'll grow better, we'll grow stronger, and we'll have better infrastructural development. And in any case, with due respect to other regions, I'm not trying to look down on it, but political administration of Nigeria relies in North. It is only a northerner that you give leadership, that he will be fair enough to carry everybody along. So we, like in the past, Sardauna, Zeke and Awolowo said, let's forget our differences. When they were discussing with Sardauna, I said, no, let us not forget our differences. Let us discuss our differences, because that is what will guide us towards how best we can lead this nation. This is a northerner for you. So today, if you said the North, people calling for, agitating for separation, people calling for disintegration, people calling for restructuring, the North is fully prepared. The North is fully ready for either you call it separation or disintegration or restructuring. We are strong enough to stand on our feet.
When you take the history of Nigeria, from the very beginning, when we were amalgamated, to the very beginning we became a nation, we got it all together wrong. You bring in people of different culture, different beliefs, different socialization, different milieu, different outlooks, merge them together by force to form a nation. Only the initial builders of Nigeria had a clear vision and a mission, devoid of any sentiment. Soon thereafter, it became clear that it was a wrong union. It was a union that was not properly negotiated. We could have remained a great country if we had isolated our own identities, peculiarities, culture, while contributing to build a nation just like America. But we ended up having people from one generation, one set of leaders to another, everybody coming with a vision and a mission, and destroy the previous ones he met, even if they are good, because they are put in place by an imaginary enemy. Secondly, we have a nation where we celebrate criminals. It is only in Nigeria that somebody will clearly steal and loot hugely from the public treasury And then after some times, you see him receiving national honors. You see him being given chieftaincy titles. You see him being called king, prince, or an emir. That is an indicator that we are yet to be there. We also have a complacent followership, a followership that is satisfied with collecting 500 naira to vote, 1,000 naira to vote, a bar of soap, a tin of milk. On that basis, he surrenders his franchise. It means we are not conscious of our civic duties and responsibilities as a nation. Majority of the common people that are complaining now are also contributing to the destruction of the country in collaboration with the colleagues of the elites. While the elites are losing the treasury, they are hailing them. Today, if a northerner were to be caught stealing 10 billion naira and he is taken to court, believe me honestly, you will see northern organizations, northern elites, some of them saying that he is being persecuted because he's a northerner, because he's a Muslim.
You identify 3 of the most pressing problem of Nigeria that we can contextualize into our conversation. What would you say, Prof, if you have the solution on your left hand to fix a problem? What would you identify as 3 major Nigerian problems? The first one I will identify is lack of nationhood. Nigeria is a country still yearning for nationhood. What does that mean? What it means is that we are not united. We are still what Chief Obafemi Awolowo once called a piece of geographical expression. Ahmadu Bello once said it was a piece of historical mistake because we were cobbled together on 3rd January 2014 by Lord Lugard, the Southern and Northern Confederates and the Lagos colony. After Nigeria had been given her name by a young British author who wrote in the London Financial Times of 8th January 1897, calling it Nigeria, that Niger area. That is first major problem. In other words, we were cobbled together through the direct and indirect rule system that we were operating, with all of us already enjoying our independence. The Benin Empire, the Oyo Empire, the Kanem Bono Empire, the ancient Ife. We were already independent, having our own systems of government, and we were happy. Now, such people that were already used to their independence and ways of life, to put them together and say they cannot now discuss their future. Is it the reason for the agitation we see in Nigeria? This idea of lack of nationhood. In fact, it is the beginning and the end of it. I can assure you that you were talking about 3 problems. I identified that one major problem. If you don't have nationhood and nobody believes in Nigeria as a country, if I ask you, so where are you from? You won't say I'm in Nigeria. You first quickly mention your village and then your state. Then you are filling a form. After asking you for your name, the next question is place of origin. You put it town, they say local government. You put it, they say state. You put it, then they say religion. You are already being typified. You are already being profiled to know whether what we want here can come to you or not come to you. But how do we resolve this? Because either we like you are an Ozekome. Yeah. You are your origin. Yes. You are of the Edo origin. Yes. And if you want to drill down, you can tell who your forefathers are. Yeah, yeah. I am an Okimbalue, and I can also tell who my forefathers are. Yeah. But can we take away the fact that we are different tongues? Our tongues different. No. And our presidents who have constituted conferences, at least 2 of the presidents have said, you can have every conversation, but the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. The former President Goodluck Jonathan said as much. In those kind of conversations, the fear of the disintegration and some people wanting to exit the nation might start, don't you think? Now, I tell you, I am not saying every Nigerian should now be the same person. In fact, I've always argued, and I'm on record to say that of Professor Onigu Otite's 374 ethnic groups in Nigeria through a demographic survey. He was a great sociologist that speaks over 380 languages.
Each of them must have a place and be respected in where he comes from. But when you want to roughing it over others, for example, like former President Buhari calling a whole ethnic group, one of the 3 largest ethnic groups, the Igbos, Southeast, as a dot in the cycle. What will you call me? A minority within a minority from Ijukwe, near Agenebode, East local government area of Edo State. What are you going to call me? But in America, for example, they first ask you, what's your name? You tell them. They say, where are you from? We ask you, what do you mean? You mean where I work? Or where I schooled? Or where I live now? Or where I was born? Because each of them would have been different. But they regard themselves as Americans. So they have what we call faith in their country. We do not have faith in our country. How do we do that? That is why when you go around on a Sunday, tomorrow is Sunday, today is Sunday. If you are go around, you will see different town unions. Where will you see a Nigerian union holding a meeting? So it's like the Bible. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added. If we get it right constitutionally, because the present foundations are fundamentally damaged, they are damaged. I give you an example, Sean. If you have a house that the walls are cracking, how do you repair the walls? Do you go to the walls? You take a hammer, you begin to chisel, you chisel it with a chisel, right? Then you get cement, mortar, you call it bricklayer, and say, help me patch this wall. He patches it. In 1 or 2 months' time, more chaos, more gullies, more cracks appear on the wall. You have to look for the cause of that wall. You discover that there's a big tree in your compound whose trees have sprouted. They have become so big that they have gone towards the foundation of the house, and it's what is actually threatening it to fall. What do you do to that tree? You don't go to the tree and cut off the branches.
Country? Nigeria is not a country.
No, it's not a country of a nation.
How so, sir?
It is only a country in law. It is a country of nations.
Okay.
There are many nations
In Nigeria,
in a so-called
country, okay.
It's not one
country.
One nation. There are many tribes.
Definitely.
There are many religions.
Many languages and culture.
Different cultures. There's the culture of not sending children to school. The same country. There's the culture of sending children to school in the same country. So you can live together as a nation. You can become a nation, not a country. Not a country of nation, but a nation.
There's no country anymore. As we are today, Nigeria is gone. What we have is a carcass, and life is short and brutish, and everyone, we're all on edge. We are the victimhood that a lot of people refuse to see coming to us. We are all there. And unfortunately, we do not have a president. We have someone who rigged his way into office, an illegitimate president, and who doesn't care. And of course, anyone who is ready to do anything, you know, snatch it, run with it, and all of that to get into office, they don't care about the people. They don't care. There's no empathy. And that's what we're seeing today. And Nigeria has gotten into a place where you're not even sure that you're going to see the next day, because you might be a victim, might be taken away even from inside your own house. And that's where Nigeria is right now.
Yeah, I'm happy you took this route when you talked about Nigeria and the Nigerian state. So for you, what are those factors you've identified as the reason why Nigeria is still in its crawling stage after how many years of independence? There are some fundamental issues. Sometimes I think that principally the main issue is leadership. There is no doubt, fundamentally, yeah. And because of our lack of quality leadership over the more than 6 decades since we achieved independence, political independence. Yeah. Because we are still under economic dependence. We've not really had that towering national figure that has demonstrated enough leadership skills and earned people's respect across all regions. We've not been lucky to have that. We've never been lucky to have a Mandela or Kagame, the Rwandan man. We've not had somebody in which most people have confidence in to move us forward. And I think that's a fundamental flaw. Some of our political leaders have had opportunities to fulfill that role. But I don't want to mention names, but I'm sure you can guess. But at the end of the day, they've disappointed us. And they've disappointed themselves too. Otherwise, we are a nation of big potentials, over 200 million people. We should be dictating whatever happens in Africa, politically, economically, even industrially, technologically. We are a nation that is being run on generators.
I would like very briefly to talk on good governance in our country, restructuring the Nigerian governance system. Because at my age, I am now 92. I have had the privilege of living through Nigeria's history. And my regret is that Nigeria is essentially still a country and has not become a nation. We are still struggling to become a nation. Because some of the challenges we face now, I believe, can be better managed if we were a nation of citizens who would be imbued with national patriotism, who would want to work for their nation. We have not become a nation. Nigeria is still a pluralistic country. And as I have said on a number of occasions, pluralistic countries are over the world. Those of them that have succeeded in surviving and remaining individual political entities have been those who address their pluralism through genuine federal constitutions. And those pluralistic countries that fail to address their pluralism through genuine federal constitutions have disintegrated. I have been quite consistent in advocating for a new democratic constitution for Nigeria which addresses our pluralism.
Oh yes, my people. That is it. The more you go, the more you see a lot of people complain about the situation of Nigeria, the problem of Nigeria, the final total division of Nigeria. Every day people cry, every day people agitate, saying that they are no more being part of one Nigeria. And the first problem facing this country, the first problem that Nigeria is facing is amalgamation. Since 1914, this amalgamation of something is the foundation of Nigerian destruction, because it is not, they did not accept to be one. But at the end, the British, due to business, due to their gain of resources, control, and other thing, they amalgamate people, different nations together, claiming that they are one nation. From there, it is when all those things started. Till date, nobody understand where and where they are even going. And that is the main problem Nigeria is facing today. But we pray that let leaders understand that the country will never remain one. Better for them and the better for the future. That the best solution. This our elder man, he have explained the porosity of Nigeria, how to solve it, and where to go. But I would say the best way it is final division of the country. If they divide it, every zone be on your own, survive and struggle to become whatever you want to become. So the issue of resources, the Northern claiming that they have enough resources, gold, oils, and rest of them that will make them a billionaire in 1 year. So other thing is there for them to understand that the nation is a country that nobody accepts to become one and to become the help of one another. So that is it. Well, I would like to hear your comment down below. Like, subscribe, and share the video to go around. Let others see things going on in Nigeria. And thank you for watching.